All right. So, we're diving into this video transcript today, and wow, I mean, right off the bat, the speaker's just hit with this wave of like raw emotion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're talking about wanting to punch somebody, calling it the worst video they've ever seen. You really get the sense of anger and disgust, I guess.
It's palpable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's palpable. And, it's not just some, like, casual reaction. Something really, really got to them.
And I think what's so interesting here is how they use that emotion, that, like, strong visceral emotion, to just immediately grab your attention. Like, they're not holding back at all.
No.
And it makes you wonder, like, what could possibly be so bad to evoke this kind of response?
Exactly. And then as you kind of get deeper into the transcript, you start to understand what's fueling this anger. And it's these videos, the speaker's seen, videos depicting the mistreatment of elderly people in care facilities.
In these care facilities. And I think it's interesting how that initial rage, it kind of transforms into this sense of almost like protectiveness.
Yes.
Like you're feeling this deep sense of vulnerability. But on behalf of those being abused.
Yeah. And they talk about how, these individuals, especially at this stage in their lives, how they deserve respect and dignity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, they're relying on others for care, and that expectation of care just isn't being met.
It's not there.
And it's not just some, theoretical thing for the speaker either. They actually bring in their own personal story.
Yeah, they do.
About their promise to never put their aging parents in a care facility. And you can really sense this struggle, between their personal values and this harsh reality
that they're seeing in these videos. And it really makes you stop and think, does this resonate with you at all?
Yeah.
Have you ever faced those kind of concerns, about ensuring proper care for loved ones as they age?
It's such a real question that a lot of people, I think grapple with, especially today.
Oh, absolutely.
With the demands on caregivers being so high.
And I think the speaker bringing in that personal promise really adds this layer of urgency and just makes their reaction that much more relatable.
Yes.
It's like they're saying, this could be my parents, my grandparents, or even me someday.
Exactly. And then comes this
warning.
Almost chilling warning. The speaker tells the listener, hey, these videos, like, they get progressively worse.
Oh, yeah.
They even suggest, maybe skip ahead if you're easily disturbed. It's like they're kind of leading you down this dark hallway, knowing full well that there are some truly horrifying things waiting around the corner.
I think that's such a clever way to build suspense and keep the listener hooked,
Yeah.
It's like they're saying, you think this is bad? You haven't seen anything yet?
And then as the speaker is describing these, worse videos, their disbelief and frustration at the perpetrator's lack of empathy really starts to take center stage.
It really does.
They actually ask directly, what are you guys thinking? Almost like they're pleading for some kind of explanation, for this cruelty.
Yeah, like, how can you do this? What's going on?
And it really forces you to confront, like, the mindset of someone who's capable of such acts.
I think that question gets to the heart of the issue, It's not just about negligence. It's about a fundamental lack of human connection.
Yes.
The speaker's struggling to comprehend how anyone could be so detached from another human suffering.
Yeah, and this leads to a pretty bold statement, I think.
Yeah.
They say that the unkindness of humanity is actually a greater threat than issues like climate change.
That's a big statement.
It is. It's a very thought-provoking claim, I think.
It is.
That elevates the conversation beyond just these specific videos.
Yeah. And makes you consider, the broader implications of this apparent decline in empathy.
Right. Instead of just reacting to this immediate situation. It's like we're raising this question about the very fabric of our society.
Yeah.
Like, are we losing our ability to care for each other?
Yes.
Is this lack of empathy a symptom of some deeper societal decay?
And to drive that point home, the speaker compares these videos to other disturbing things that they've seen.
Right.
Emphasizing how deeply affected they are by this particular content. They even mention witnessing some crazy stuff in their line of work.
Oh, wow.
Suggesting that these videos, stand out as especially disturbing. Even for someone who's, presumably seen a lot.
Right. Someone who's used to tough material.
Yeah.
And it just really makes you think about the power of these images and what they say about us as a society. Even someone who's accustomed to difficult material is just, shaken to their core by this.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
It is. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost feels like, they're wrestling with this question.
Yeah.
If this kind of cruelty can happen to the most vulnerable among us.
Right.
What does that say about humanity as a whole?
Exactly. And you really see that struggle in the transcript.
Yeah.
The speaker talks about looking ahead and seeing a world that's just getting crazier and crazier. It's almost like they're losing hope in our ability to just be decent to each other.
It's heavy, and you can feel that weight in the speaker's words.
You really can.
But then, instead of ending on this totally bleak note, they kind of shift gears and offer this glimmer of hope, in the form of a call to action. They urge listeners to support independent journalism, arguing that it's crucial for exposing wrongdoing and holding those in power accountable.
That shift is interesting,
Yeah.
It suggests that the speaker, despite their despair, still believes that change is possible. Yeah. They see independent journalism as this tool for shining a light on the darkness and forcing us to confront these uncomfortable truths.
It's like they're saying, don't turn away, don't pretend this isn't happening. Like, we have to acknowledge the problem before we can even begin to fix it.
Absolutely.
And by supporting independent journalism, we're empowering those who are willing to dig deep, expose the truth, even when it's difficult.
Even when it's hard to face.
That really resonates with me,
Yeah.
It makes me think about the responsibility that we all share in shaping the kind of society we want to live in.
Right.
Like, by choosing to engage, by choosing to support those who are fighting for justice, by choosing to hold each other accountable, we can start to rebuild that sense of trust.
Yes.
And empathy.
An empathy that seems to be, like, slipping away.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the speaker's experience, as documented in this transcript, offers a valuable lesson for all of us as we navigate the digital age.
I agree.
It's a reminder that we can't just bury our heads in the sand and pretend these problems don't exist.
We can't ignore it.
But at the same time, we can't let this, constant barrage of negativity consume us either.
Right.
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
And it's one that we have to actively work towards.
Maybe the key is in finding ways to engage with these issues constructively, like channeling that outrage into action, supporting organizations dedicated to positive change, and just having those tough conversations with each other.
Yes.
Of the kind of world we want to create.
It's a reminder that even in the face of darkness, there's always a potential for light.
Yeah, I like that.
This deep dive into one person's reaction to, disturbing content, it's opened up this Pandora's box of issues.
It has.
But it's also given us a lot to think about.
It really has.
In terms of our own roles and responsibilities, it's been heavy.
Yeah.
But I think we both agree, like, it's been worth it.
It really has.
Exploring all this.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how, like, one person's experience can spark such a wide-ranging conversation.
And it kind of brings us to, I think, a really important question, particularly for you, the listener, as you navigate this digital world.
And I'm all ears.
How do you balance, like, the need to be aware of these really difficult issues, with protecting your own mental and emotional well-being? It's so easy to get just overwhelmed by all the negativity out there.
It really is. It's like, you don't want to be naive and think everything's, sunshine and roses, but you also don't want to let the darkness consume you.
Exactly. And I think the speaker's journey in this transcript offers some really valuable insight into how we might approach this dilemma.
In what way?
Well, they don't shy away from their emotions.
Yeah.
They allow themselves to feel the anger, the despair, the frustration.
Right.
But they don't let those feelings paralyze them.
That's true. They channeled that energy into a call to action.
Exactly.
Supporting independent journalism.
And I think that's key. It's about finding those constructive outlets for those difficult emotions.
Right.
Turning awareness into action.
Yeah.
Whether that's, supporting organizations working to combat elder abuse, having conversations with friends and family about these issues, or simply choosing to be more mindful of how we treat each other in our daily lives.
So it's not about ignoring the bad stuff, but finding ways to engage with it in a way that empowers us, rather than overwhelms us. I think that's a powerful message to take away from this whole deep dive.
I agree.
Even in the face of these disturbing realities, there's always a choice to be made.
Always.
We can choose to be passive, or we can choose to engage, to fight for a better world.
To be the change.
To be the change we want to see. That's a great point to end on.
I think so.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope it's given you some food for thought as you navigate the complexities of the digital age.
Absolutely.
Remember, awareness is important.
Yes.
But it's what we do with that awareness that truly matters.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for listening.